Hello guys, today I'm here again to talk with you about this awesome update that I did for the Easy Water generator, and that's very exciting actually because it brings lots of new things that it's important to give our water generator the flexibility that it needs to create different scenes for different situations, right? And for that, I'm gonna open a simple scene with some rocks and cliffs that I downloaded from Blender Kit, right? So basically, this is the scene. It was all downloaded from Blender Kit. Let's take a look, right? Simple scene, and we have this boat animated, just simple animation. And this is supposed to be a creek or something like that, so I need to add a water here. So in this version 4 of Easy Water Generator, it's a new way of adding the water to your scene. It gives you more flexibility, and the approach it's better, right? So you don't need to go to your asset browser anymore, right? So first of all, let's add a simple plane here. This plane will be our water, okay? Let me put this on random so we can see the plane. So this is our plane, and what we have to do now is just go to edit mode, right? Cover the area that we need, okay? Maybe something like this, bring it here, there, right? Just cover the area that the water should go, okay? Where is our camera? From here, okay. The water covers everything. It's not covering this area, so for the caustic, it doesn't matter. We will not see that anyway. The water should be covering the entire thing, okay? But the depth, it's not what we want. We want something more like, yeah, something more like maybe here. Something that touch a little bit the boat here, right? We don't wanna we don't wanna have the feeling that the water is going through the boat. And let's cover the entire thing, okay? That's pretty much it. It's done for the purpose of this water generator. Let's isolate this to show you. Let's go to wireframe mode. Now it's just a plane with one single face, okay? So what this plugin does, it's making you access that through the right click mouse button. Let me just screencast here so you guys can see what I'm pressing. So right click mouse button, right? You go here to easy generators. So all my generators will be here. At this point, it will have just easy text creator because it's the only one that is installed now. Okay. But if you go to your preference and install your add-on, it is already installed. So it's easy water generator version 4. If you turn it on, it's light, simple. It's not a heavy file. It's easy to install. Like you guys know how to install, right? So if you go here now, easy generator, you have easy water generator. Okay, that's the new way. And you press easy water generator, and you have 3 options: water, prepare water mesh, and wet map. Okay, I will explain those. For now, what we want, because we don't have a subdivided mesh from our own, so we just have a plane and we quickly want to address the water there, we can kind of prepare the water mesh, okay? What this does is it's creating squares everywhere, so that makes the water looks uniform, the geometry. So once you divide it, it will be even better. You don't need to worry about dividing the mesh properly anymore. So just apply that and your mesh will be divided in quad. Okay. And the next step is it will be just create the water. For that, just create water and it's done. Okay. The water is created, right? Let's subdivide it a bit more to see what's going on. And there we go. That's what's going on. Okay. And simple water going on. If you take a look at the render, it's going to be like this, right? So let's push it back the creek. We may want the water to go to some direction. Let's give it some direction to it. Maybe this direction here, right? So right now the water is coming to this direction. And we may want to tweak a little bit the real waves. It's about you. It's only it's up to you, right, to do that. Maybe it's good enough, but I would like to add a little bit more scale to it. So I will reduce a little bit to give it some more like this. Because I'm not having just the water here. I also have I don't have just the real waves, but I also have the, let me make it bigger so you guys can see better. I also have the shader waves, okay? And the shader waves is also playing with the realism of the water. I'm gonna show you here a better way, right? It's maybe going to the EV visuals. So you see right now you are seeing just the real wave. If you remove the real waves, and we have shader waves, but its intensity is 0 now. But if you crank this up, you see that we also are adding extra layer of realism to our water, right? Which creates better look. And then we can also add the real waves on top of it. Let me see how it goes here. Yeah, pretty good, right? That's the basic. So you already added the water, okay? And now we want to have volume on our water, okay? Because we don't want to have a super clear water. We want to have a volume water, okay? For that, just click in volume, and then we got our volume on the water. But if you see here, the water will be kind of interactive. I will push this volume down a little bit more. I can extend it a little bit more and maybe bring it down just a little bit more, right? So we are safe here, okay? So now let's see, volumetric water, right? Good, good. You can play the density. You can uh, maybe make it less dense, so you have less volume. Whatever, right? Whatever works for you. I would leave it in 1 for now, just because I want to show you something that having more volume will help to see. Okay. For now, let's reduce the water resolution to 4 maybe. Okay. And let's add some ripples. Okay. So once we add ripples, what happened? Nothing happened because we don't have a collection for which is the collection we want to ripple. Actually, we want to ripple around all these cliffs. So all of them are inside cliffs. So what you do, you go here to your ripple, and then you bring the cliffs here collection. Now you have ripples going on here in the cliffs, and you can see, let me just do a quick visuals here. You can see immediately that the waves are happening here, okay? The waves are happening. And how we can see that better? The best way to see that is how the waves are going is maybe select this guy, right? And here, let's not show the volume for now, and maybe not the shader waves for now, and maybe not even the real waves. Okay, let's see just the ripple, going on, right? Let's go to the material preview. So now we have a ripple, and then you can see how the ripple is happening. Okay, let's reduce here of the water. You see the ripple is happening. Okay, the issue is because it's a bit too uh, slow to preview here because of the rock is very high detail, so it's taking in account the mesh of the rock for the preview of the ripple. But you can tweak the ripple anyway, the speed and everything. I will expand it a little bit more, maybe expand it here on the ripple control a little bit more, right, or less. It's up to you. The intensity of the ripple as well, the shaded ripple intensity, I would leave it like that, right? So the ripple is going on all over the water. Okay, so far so good. It's happening. Okay, good enough, good enough, good enough. Right. So let's bring it back. The real waves to, right? Maybe, yeah, 2 is good. And the resolution was what, 5, right? Maybe real wave is too intense. Let's bring it to 1. That's good. And let's bring the shader wave to 2 maybe. Okay, we have something like this going on. Okay, so far so good, right? Just for the sake of the next thing that I want to show, I will remove the ripples so we have better look animation, right? So now we have the ripples, we have the waves, and we have what? Caustics. Okay, I want to add some caustics. So I press fake caustics, nothing happens because I have to tell which is the collection of the caustics will be projected on. I want to be projected on the ground, so I have the bottom here, and as soon as I put it here, it will project the caustics here beneath on the ground. So now we have caustics, right? It's all fake caustics, right? But it will add better visual. It will enhance the visual of your water. For now, let's just remove this caustic and keep going with the animation because I want to show you another thing that I have changed. Okay, so the updates here brings possibility to tweak the ripples render size. Okay, let me show you what is that again. I will select this guy, right, and show you what is that. To better visual, let's turn it on the volume so we see. Okay, so this is the wave, and inside here the ripples, we have options that we didn't have before. We reorganized this. Okay, we can have real ripple intensity, which you put it here, the water will, the mesh will ripple. Maybe that's not necessary. In our case, it's not necessary actually. So let's leave it like that. But we have the intensity of the shader ripple. We can put it 0 and there is no ripple at all. We can put it 1 and we have very intense ripples. Okay, 0.5 is good enough. We have the noise of a ripple. If we want the ripple to be perfect, we just remove the noise and then we will see ripples. okay? But I like the ripple to be noisy, so I like to add a little bit of noise to the ripple, maybe too much here. Two, two is good, okay? And as you can see, we can have foam now to the ripples. So the ripples can be clean like that it was before, but now we can add also some foam that will be also bringing some more interesting visuals to your ripples. Maybe not too much, maybe something like this, right? Good enough. Okay, those are the new things that you have in ripples, right? And also another thing you have in general now is the option to tweak the roughness, okay? Because before it was a preset that it you change it here, nothing would. You didn't have this option, so you weren't being able to control the roughness of the water. Now, to increase the roughness up to the minimum as it's possible. Now you can turn it on, and then you have a fully glossy water everywhere. But let me show you the difference. I will show you the difference, maybe removing the ripples and maybe taking the water shade, the real water shader, and make it 0, okay, and maybe shaded water to 0, okay. So that's the clean, perfect water. So let me bring it back the cliff. It's better because I want to show you this, okay. So right now the roughness is completely one everywhere. But if I turn it 0 as it comes by default, you see you have some interesting roughness going on depending on the angle of your camera. Okay, I personally prefer this option, but some people just like prefer fully glossy. I prefer this option. You can maybe even put some in the middle, right? Having something like that. Okay. So yeah, let's bring the option back to the wave, the real wave, and let's bring it back the shader wave to 2 and the ripples again. Okay, yeah. So next step will be the main, what I consider one of the main addictions to this system, which is interactive. Okay, so if you have something that you want to interact with your water, like uh, dynamic paints, for people that know dynamic paint, that is the option right here. Okay, interactive. As soon as you press interactive, nothing will happen. Okay, but as soon as you turn it here, you see this seems that there is a simulation happening. Okay, so let's go to interactive options to show you. Those are the options. Okay, right away, if I choose a collection to interact, which is this boat, there's a boat here, this guy, Camel inflatable boat. This is on Blender Kit, by the way. If I bring this guy here, press it here, then the water will take this guy and interact with. Take a look. Right? So let's pause it here. Okay, we have this interaction. If we click it, render, let's bring back the volume so we can see better. And let's see maybe with not the symbol. Okay, this scene maybe stranger. Okay, so here we go. So we have the interactive, and this interactive is creating some foam as well. Okay, so you tweak those settings here to get different look for the water interaction and dampness. Don't change that much propagation steps because this is gonna go crazy. Leave it one. I will block this into one. And impulse strength spread, the damping, restoring force, it's how quick the water comes back to the original uh, position, right? The displacement is the amount of depth the interaction creates, and the foam, okay? So you know it's creating the interaction, nice, and it's creating some foam. Now you can control the foam. The amount of it, you can remove it completely, okay? You can add just a little bit to have some nice foam going on. Maybe you want to add more, right? And you can control the amount of the gain for the foam. One, it becomes more prominent. Zero, less prominent, right? It's very subtle, this. Let's leave it on 6. And the decay of it, okay? You can remove the decay and place it 4. So the foam will disappear faster, right? And yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's for the interactive, okay? Let's bring back the light of the scene, okay? So yeah, and then you bring back your caustics, you bring back your ripples, and let's remove the Ctrl B. So let's see, Ctrl Shift B. How can I remove the? I forgot. How can I remove the? Oh no, this is the camera already. Okay, so nice. Okay, so here we go. So you have your ripples, you have a water going on, you have a foam, you have some caustics going on beneath. You can see more the caustics if you, for example, reduce the amount of density of your volume. Maybe put it just 2, right? And then you will see more of the caustics at the bottom, and you see more of the bottom, right? It's up to you. And you have all the options here to tweak also the color of your water, okay? The if the water is influencing the diffuse or not, okay, in the roughness. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I hope you guys like this. This is pretty good. It's a really big step forward what we had in the previous version, which I was already using that in production. But now I'm pretty sure I will be able to use it more and more because of the interactivity and the possibility of adding foam and tweak the ripple. Okay, so other than that, that's it. This tool is available on Gumroad, Blender Market, but also is here's the tip: it's way cheaper on my Patreon. And that's not a catch. It's just because I really want to boost people to become members on my Patreon, because that helps me monthly to keep going, developing and updating the tools and make it the tools looks better for all of us, right? Uh, because I have not just this tool, but I have a bunch of other things that I never really put it on Builder Market or Gumroad because I don't have time to do that, and I'm gonna be putting all of them on my Patreon. Go to my Patreon, check there, become a special member, so you would have access to these two easy graphs generator and everything else there. Or if you want to become a simple member, you are not maybe not have access to these two, but for just $5 a month, you have access to a bunch of other tools and add-ons for Blender, for Linux, for Krita. Okay, check it out there. And if you become a free member, you also can get these two. You also can get free tools there, which are also very useful, but it's for free. Okay, just check the link below, and if you like this channel, subscribe my channel. Okay, thumbs up. I personally like a lot this tool. For me, it's so easy to set up a water and work. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, and subscribe my channel if you like it. Okay, and yeah, I'm always posting Blender things and things related to 3D, and every update and tutorial for all my tools are here on my channel. Okay, you would find other tutorial for this water generation here and explaining all the other settings on details for the previous updates. Okay, see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye. Take it easy.